Imagine reaching into the back of your pantry and pulling out a can of peaches. Not just any can, but one with a faded label, perhaps a vintage design from decades past. You might be surprised to learn that those peaches, sealed away from the outside world, could still be perfectly safe to eat. This is the magic of canning, a food preservation technique that has been feeding families for generations. But how do canned foods manage to last for years, sometimes even decades, without spoiling? The answer lies in a fascinating blend of science, ingenuity, and a dash of culinary history. Canning, as we know it today, emerged in the late 18th century, driven by the need to preserve food for armies on the move. French confectioner Nicolas Appert discovered that heating food in sealed glass jars could prevent spoilage, a breakthrough that would revolutionize food storage. Today, canning is a popular method for preserving a wide array of foods, from fruits and vegetables to soups, meats, and even ready-to-eat meals. So the next time you reach for a can of tomatoes or a jar of preserved peaches, take a moment to consider the fascinating science that makes it all possible. The longevity of canned food can be attributed to two fundamental principles: hermetic sealing and heat sterilization. These twin pillars of canning work in tandem to create an environment within the can that is inhospitable to the microorganisms that cause spoilage. Hermetic sealing is the process of creating an airtight seal between the can and its lid. This impenetrable barrier prevents the entry of new microorganisms, those tiny agents of decay that are always lurking, ready to pounce on our food. Heat sterilization, the second line of defense, targets the microorganisms that might already be present in the food. This involves heating the sealed cans to a specific temperature for a precise amount of time, effectively neutralizing any bacteria, yeasts, or molds that could cause spoilage. The combination of these two methods ensures that canned food remains safe and edible for extended periods. This two-pronged approach is the secret behind the remarkable shelf life of canned goods, allowing us to enjoy the bounty of the harvest long after the growing season has passed. When it comes to canning, there are two primary methods used to achieve the necessary heat sterilization: boiling water bath canning and pressure canning. The choice of method depends largely on the acidity of the food being canned, as acidity plays a crucial role in determining the temperature required to eliminate harmful bacteria. Boiling water bath canning involves submerging sealed jars of food in a bath of boiling water. This method is suitable for high-acid foods, such as fruits, tomatoes, and pickles, which have a pH level below 4.6. Pressure canning is reserved for low-acid foods, including vegetables, meats, poultry, and seafood, which have a pH level above 4.6. These foods require a higher processing temperature, 240 degrees Fahrenheit, 116 degrees Celsius, to eliminate the risk of botulism. Understanding the difference between these two methods is crucial for safe canning. Always consult a trusted canning resource to determine the appropriate method and processing time for the food you wish to can. Canning, while steeped in scientific principles, is a relatively straightforward process that can be mastered with practice and attention to detail. Preparation is key. Begin by gathering your equipment, including jars, lids, rings, a canner, and any other necessary tools. Wash your jars and lids thoroughly in hot, soapy water and sterilize them according to your chosen canning method. Next, prepare your produce. Wash and prepare your chosen food according to your recipe. Pack the prepared food into the sterilized jars, leaving the appropriate amount of headspace, which is crucial for creating a vacuum seal during processing. Add any necessary liquids, such as water, brine, or syrup, again leaving the proper headspace. Remove air bubbles using a non-metallic utensil to ensure none are trapped within the jars. Wipe the rims of the jars with a clean, damp cloth, then place the lids and rings on the jars, tightening them to a fingertip-tight seal. Process the jars in a boiling water bath or pressure canner according to the recommended time and pressure for your recipe and altitude. Once the processing time is complete, carefully remove the jars from the canner and place them on a clean towel to cool. As the jars cool, you should hear a satisfying pop sound as the lids are drawn inward, creating a vacuum seal. Preserving quality over time. One of the most compelling advantages of canning is its ability to extend the shelf life of food, allowing us to enjoy seasonal flavors year-round. However, it's essential to understand that while canned foods can last for an extended period, their quality may gradually decline over time. The shelf life of canned goods can vary depending on several factors, including the type of food, the canning method used, and the storage conditions. Generally, high-acid canned foods, such as fruits, tomatoes, and pickles, have a shelf life of 12 to 18 months when stored properly. Low-acid canned foods, such as vegetables, meats, and fish, can last for 2 to 5 years. While canned foods are generally safe to eat beyond their best-by date, it's essential to inspect the cans carefully before use. Check for any signs of damage, such as dents, rust, or swelling, which could indicate spoilage. To maximize the shelf life and quality of your canned goods, store your jars in a cool, dark, and dry place, away from direct sunlight, heat sources, and fluctuating temperatures. Let's explore the convenience and nutritional value of canned foods. Canning, as a food preservation method, offers a unique set of advantages and disadvantages. One major benefit is the long shelf life of canned foods, making them a valuable resource for emergency preparedness and reducing food waste. Additionally, canned foods are incredibly convenient, requiring no refrigeration or special handling until opened. In terms of nutrition, while some nutrients may be lost during the canning process, canned foods generally retain a significant portion of their vitamins and minerals. Canned foods are often more affordable than fresh produce, especially out of season. However, the heating process involved in canning can lead to the loss of some heat-sensitive nutrients, such as vitamin C. Another concern is the high sodium content in many commercially canned foods, which can be an issue for individuals with high blood pressure or other health conditions. Despite these drawbacks, canned foods can still be a valuable part of a healthy diet by choosing low-sodium varieties and incorporating them into a balanced diet that includes plenty of fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Tips for using canned foods. Canned foods, with their long shelf life and ready-to-use nature, can be a pantry superhero, coming to the rescue on busy weeknights or adding a burst of flavor to everyday meals. Give canned beans, vegetables, and legumes a good rinse under cold water to remove excess sodium. When selecting canned fruits, opt for those packed in juice or water rather than heavy syrup to reduce added sugar. Look for cans labeled as BPA-free to minimize potential exposure to this chemical. Jazz up canned ingredients with fresh herbs, spices, citrus zest, or a splash of vinegar or wine to enhance their flavor and freshness. Canned foods are incredibly versatile and can be incorporated into countless recipes. Use canned tomatoes as a base for soups, sauces, and stews. Toss canned beans into salads, wraps, or dips. Incorporate canned fish into sandwiches, pasta dishes, or salads. By embracing the versatility of canned goods and employing these simple tips, you can unlock a world of culinary possibilities, transforming pantry staples into delicious and satisfying meals.